do, because of the engineering and pump station could take the cost of it to that far. I would like to talk to Spicer further on it to see if we could. I talked to one local person today, but I didn't get to call you today. I wanted to ask you a question about that because you know more about drainage than everybody in the room. And you just happen to be here, so I apologize not putting you on the spot, but asking you an expertise-wise.
I would figure at least that much.
Because labor's off the chart nowadays,
Yes.
if they can get you worked in.
So
There's no place to drain out there though, right?
Well, the thing that Spicer was looking at is going the 2,000 feet to get it back to Bowtell Road. And then it would go into that bulkhead there, because that way if there was any type of petroleum leakage, it gets retained in that specific spot and it never makes it to the bay.
You'd have to put oil separators and everything else.
And I think that's part of the reason
Yes.
it's close to $500,000. And there was conversation of a possibility of a millage. But then even if you get done with that $500,000, you're looking at, you gotta fix the road.
I mean, one lawsuit could take care of that. And we've had so many incidences where people go around it and a person got hit by a car because the car did not see the biker going around the water. I'm just being serious. This is a serious issue. And it's not me, it's the entire South Linwood Beach.
No, it's a,
It's not a good situation no matter what because of everything needs to be done. I mean, it's
The road is
huge.
deteriorating. There is
Huge
nothing left
project.
to it.
yeah. And I did talk to one person today asking a few questions, and that person said it needs to go back because of public safety to the drain commissioner and the road commission. Because it is a public safety issue, that individual did say to me. Because possibly the drain commissioner might have monies that we don't have that could help us to accomplish this, because, and that drain, whichever one that is that runs along Bowtell Road, the drain commission has to even give us permission to drain into it. We cannot just drain into their drain, being a county drain.
So I think really the moral of the story is there's way too many unknowns right now, but we certainly need to keep this at the forefront because this has been going on for way too long. I don't know that in the context of approving the budget that that's going to be, something that we can figure out tonight. But we need to have a little better information on that.
I'm going to make a note on my agenda under communications of South Linwood Beach that we need to talk to the county drain commissioner and the road commission in reference to public safety on South Linwood Beach, and see what we can do to I know that's like going backwards, but it's a good place to make the note about this so it does not get dropped or overlooked.
So can I ask a question, please? Is there any money in the budget for the fix?
We don't have the list right now saying where.
That's our problem. We do
Yeah,
not
we
have
don't
the
have
list,
that.
but there is money that it says for drainage or ditches. And there is money because we just did taxes, so not knowing the allocations, correct me if anybody's welcome to correct me if I'm wrong. Not knowing our allocations, it makes it hard to say, but
I think there was money left over from last year from the road north that wasn't used, and then we have the road north that we just collected, so. but like you said, we don't know, we don't have.
We don't know that allocation, because it's out of Department 446 and 445 is more than likely. And then there's even very small amount, oh, there's money for capital improvements on storm drains in 528. So the possibility would be we have to ask our engineering company to get more of a sharp pencil so we can truly know what. That's not the answer you want.
You've been trying for a long period of time.
I know.
You know, we asked people that lived on the road for a long period of time, when was the last time the road was even paved? And what was the answer?
The answer was it's only been paved once, initially when it was first paved, and it hasn't been repaved since.
know
I
that's
thought
not the
about
issue
30
for
years.
them. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
approximately.
been-
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's been decades.
I think the fact that it's a waterlogged is certainly contributing.
Yes, I'm sure it is. Again, you keep collecting taxes from us and nothing is happening to our road. That's the fact.
Well,
I don't think there's any way that we would have an answer prior
Yeah.
to approving this budget. We just don't have enough information. We discussed it in our budget workshop as well, that something needed to be done. But it passes what the revenues are annually for our millage, what would need to be done there.
but the bad news is we can't answer your question. The good news is we've talked about it the last 3 meetings. So it's something that's not been put on the back burner. We're talking about it, and trying to figure how we can try to come up with a means. And Sam did say, you know, that he was trying to see, because they don't allow anything to be pumped into the marsh. But there was the reference of seeing if they would make any special consideration, because that would be a lot less expensive than running 2,000 feet of drainage. 2,000 feet of drainage is a lot of drainage, but if that's what has to happen, you know what I'm saying? But anything else in this that,
In the budget, anybody else? So those changes that were discussed as far as the insurance and as far as the workers'
Workers'
comp on the hall, those, everybody's cool with that as far as making a motion for that to be kind of amended budget?
so we would actually end up changing the final figure by about $7,500. So we'd have to add $7,500 to the bottom line of our budget because of the cost of insurance being a little bit more. Everybody in line with that?
I guess make sure nobody else has anything to say. and just close the public.
Any other questions about the budget? Any other questions about the budget?
Yeah, the public hearing part is actually for the people,
I'm just asking
but
us.
yeah. But I mean, I think that
You can't
comes
close
after,
it.
yeah, we can't
I
close.
know
the
we
public
can't close
hearing.
it, I'm asking everybody up here,
Oh.
our adjustments that we've made, it's $7,500 to our bottom line. Right? Okay. So anybody out there have any other questions in reference to our budget?
When will we be able to see the list of all the projects that are gonna take place?
I would say approximately May, what is this, April 1st? Probably about May 1st. Because Sam will be back about 10 days at that point, and we would have,
The road projects?
right,
Looking at the May meeting,
by then,
we should
May,
have it together.
May meeting, we should have a better idea. Gives them time to get back, gives them time to get reactivated, and would give time to talk to the Drain Commission and the Road Commission
And the Eagle.
and the Eagle.
Well, can't forget Eagle.
soaring right across the,
That's their jurisdiction, so.
well, especially because it's right there next to that marsh.
Mhm. That's a 2 or 3 year project.
And there's people on the other end, they already did their way to make sure they didn't have a water issue, which, putting it politely,
So when they did the other side of South Linwood Beach, why didn't they just go all the way across?
it's not question and answer, but I'll answer it.
Sorry.
That part, no, the part of the question that she's asking is, there was an emergency route out of Linwood. The emergency route took Elevator Road to Labordy, Labordy to South Linwood Beach, South Linwood Beach down to Cottage Grove, and then up Cottage Grove. So, that was how they were able to get the storm sewers put in along that stretch of South Linwood Beach, and just a little bit further down, I think there's 1 or 2 basins. That's how they pulled that off. Well then, once they were done with the project on South Linwood Beach, they vacated that as the emergency escape route out of the village, or a route for like all the accidents on M13. Because they'll divert traffic as far down as Bowtell Road and have them take the beach road all the way down to get to the village or to get to Labordy Road. So that was how they did what they did. That's where those monies came from. Those monies were actually county monies versus township monies. That was the blessing. So now, they're not maintaining that anymore. Now, the route is Labordy Road. It goes Elevator to Labordy, Labordy to M13 is now the route out of the village. And to the north, they take Elevator to Anderson, up to M13. But those specific routes, that's why the road commission makes sure those are maintained. And not just maintained, but that the snow is plowed. So there's so much more to what the county does, because that's like, for lack of a better word, emergency route, right? And good or bad, and the section you guys live on is a dead end. If that section would have been connected to Parish Road, that would have kept going, I think.
Almost a private drive, the way it's set up.
Yeah, and that's a big problem.
And when you're talking about a project that's gonna cut, and I realize it's not, a project that's probably gonna cost $1.2 million, it's gonna be, maybe the township will give this, and then you guys will have to make the decision on whether you wanna pay the assessment or not. And you guys will get to vote on it. Oh, God, no, we don't wanna do that, but you look at where you're living. It's,
Yeah.
the township's not gonna pick up a $1.2 million project on that.
Been for
That's
30
only gonna
years,
take
and
care
why
of-
did we pay taxes on our roads? I mean, come on.
That's, you pay tax on your road, or you pay taxes on your property?
No, we have a road assessment,
Yes, a
and
road
that
assessment.
section of the beach pays roughly 20, that day when we were figuring out, along the beach there, they pay approximately $20,000 in village money for roads.
So if we go 20 years, there may be enough,
30 years.
30 years to get there.
You know, and in that case, we'd almost have to bond it. Nobody says you couldn't, you know, because you know that dedicated tax dollars collected in that district would definitely be able to,
Get that?
yeah, yeah.
It's, there's a lot of hurdles that
Oh, no,
you're starting in the right place, Charlie. I mean, really, the road commission, the drain commission, you're not gonna get anywhere until you get those two.
And he threw Eagle in, which is good, because you know what, that way you're not
You
leaving
know-
somebody out,
You know,
because,
you know you're gonna run into them.
you
It's
know,
not a big deal.
if you gotta have Eagle involved, it's better off to have them at the beginning of the festival and not the end, because
Yeah.
we all know Eagle can start and stop stuff by snapping their fingers, which is sad, but they can.
What is Eagle?
Eagle is what the
DEQ.
old DEQ was, Department of Natural Resources. You know, they're the ones that are protecting the marsh that's down by your house. And they will do everything humanly possible to make sure that marsh is maintained. And they were dumping water at one point. They were dumping excess water in the marsh at the Valtel Road drain. Because that marsh water is a different makeup than the Saginaw Bay water or the ditch water. Because that was brought up to me actually by a farmer, that there was some questions that took place because of that. The waters aren't the same, and you dump that in the bay, and I said I was at the bay and I noticed this plume. And the reason there was a plume, and it looked really dark, sometimes when the pumps are running there, it was dark because that included marsh water. So, for lack of a better, any other questions for our public hearing? Any other questions for our public hearing? Any other questions for our public hearing? Public hearing at 6:02 is closed. Get a second. I'm just putting my notes here so I got them. You would make a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion. Did you, I didn't.
Perfect. Sherry and Lori. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Nobody, okay. Do we have a motion to accept the budget with those 2 adjustments?
Well, technically, it's 3 adjustments because we had to split up 205 and
3 adjustments. Oh, wait a minute, there's a hand back there.
You know, it's been probably about, I'd say 25 years or so, I haven't had one raise in that period of time. And, you know, how you mentioned how everything's going up. Well, everything is going up, and I see it too, but I figured if 10% of the building permit fee wouldn't take from the budget, it would take from the building permit. And at 10%, that would equate, just if I worked here 20 years, it's been about 30, but say 20 years, that would give me 1/2 of 1% per year. Now, that's not a lot, I wouldn't think.
Do we have, sorry, resolution?
Something unreasonable.
Yep.
I know David Banger could say,
We do have them, but they're not here.
Well, they're for just the
I
board.
think it has been a couple years, a few years, but I think, I don't think it's been that long. Because I think at one time when we were giving giving the board a 2% raise, I think you were getting one also.
Yep.
But I mean, that was probably 10 years ago. You know, it's been a while,
yeah, it's been a while, right?
so.
I figure if it was 65, instead of 35, the township still would have plenty of money to spend for the heat, the computers that they buy, the desks, and maintenance on things that I don't use.
Public hearing is still open. I take it.
How about reopening?
I think we have to. Let's see if we're up, do we have to reopen public hearing, because he's bringing this question.
Yeah, why'd you wait so long?
Well, you've got salary resolution on the.
I understand that. I do it. I don't have the resolutions though, do I? Or does somebody have them?
Well, the resolutions
Those
are
are-
those
just
are just
salary
for the board.
resolutions for the board. So if
Right.
we were to
Yeah.
do-
We have to
we could
adopt
have-
those today?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but that's
if we
just
were to-
for you, not
yeah,
for,
Yeah, if we were to give Dick a raise, that would have to be an agenda on our next board meeting that we'd have to vote on.
right.
You know, that would be a separate issue, that would be a separate thing.
Well, speaking of the DEQ too, that's spelled out in the ordinance that is the zoning administrator is the Eagle, is the floodplain manager. Well, the zoning administrator, he shouldn't have to, nor does he deal with them, I do, that's another job that I've picked up, so. Before, back when Roy and, Roy Lord and Mike Arm were here, they were taking care of that stuff, and I was just inspecting for them. But now that's just another thing that I gotta do for them, especially on all the houses that are being constructed out there.
I appreciate you bringing that up. I think the moral of the story is that you would need to request to be on the next agenda for us to have that discussion rather than doing it at the point of the budget approval.
Yeah.
Okay?
Fine.
So I would recommend that.
Everybody make sure to note that on your,
And half of that 10% would be in the building permit, fee too, so they would be split in my rate.
But you actually, since you brought that up, you actually take a percentage of the building permit fees already, plus you have a salary that's a guaranteed amount each month, right? So your setup is a little bit different.
No, just by the, for the permits. So, you know, the permit fee, plus the fact that the permits here are really low, which, that's perfectly fine.
My question is, you're not proposing any change in the salary amount? You're
No.
simply asking for a higher percentage of the permit fees?
Yeah.
That's what, okay.
That way the township don't have to pay it, on the rate of permit.
And
Plus still
just clarify.
35% residual for supplies, that I don't really use up in the paper for permits.
okay?
No, I was just thinking, I was wondering what percentage he's at now.
Yeah.
55.
Yeah.
55,
I'm sorry,
How much is a zoning permit now?
where is the sheriff?
Well, like, I think you found the answer for, because now with your zoning permit, you have to deal with DEQ, correct?
Oh, yeah, that's on the floodplain manager.
Well, because that's changed since the last time we got one permit.
Yeah,
So virtually, because I knew they were free then,
Yep.
and if I go anywhere else and get a zoning permit, I gotta pay $15 for it.
well, they gotta pay for everything, you go over there, like the bank,
So-
or monitor.
So maybe that's something they could look at, instead of just coming out of the budget, perhaps. rate charges.
Yeah.
We'll pause to make notes regarding cost pay raise from the building department, percentage of the permit fee, not his salary. That's the question that we were at.
Okay.
So,
I think we can go back to the voting on the budget for this.
does anyone want to make a motion to accept the proposed budget with those three adjustments?
Could you tell me what the three adjustments are? Their numbers,
Adjustment
please?
number one was insurance. Department 265,
Start at the
What's the whole
101.
number?
101, 265, 712, 000.
Okay,
Got that one?
That was the 15.
101, 265, 7,
One.
thank you, 00.
712, 000.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. The other one.
71200. And with that, you're taking away,
Yes.
erasing the
From
1,500?
1,500 to 0.
Correct.
Okay.
And then, building insurance. Under the general. I'm trying to think.
101, 101, 710.
101.7, you said?
101, 101, 7,
101,
710.
710.
Correct. That was going from 9,500 to 11,005.
Yes.
And
Not
then
what, I'm sorry, going to 11.5.
from 9,500 to 11,500.
Is there a 000 at the end of that? Or no?
Yes, 000.
Sorry.
101, 1710000.
And then the final one is 205-336-710.000. It's going from 17,000 to 24,000.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you're all good, I will make that motion to approve the
Second.
proposed budget with those three changes.
I think that's roll call because it's money.
Class,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
DeShano,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes. It says salary resolutions.
Usually we read the resolution.
We read them, but I don't have them. Ask and thou shalt receive.
I wasn't here, but I had
No,
someone
no.
here to do it for me.
I just wasn't sure.
Okay, so they just go backwards like that.
Okay.
Probably highlight as far as numbers.
Following resolution to establish township officer's salary. Following resolution was offered by Amy. Yeah,
Township.
so it would be offered by, he can't offer it.
Right.
It's regarding
Well,
him.
it's also not here.
So, it would be offered by Charles, supported by, and who's gonna support that?
I'll support.
Be it resolved that this resolution is subject to MCLA 41.953 in the township that does not hold an annual meeting. The salary for officers composing of township board shall be determined by the township board. Be it resolved that as of April 1, 2024, the salary for the township supervisor shall be as follows: $31,008.66.
Gonna say,
Be a roll call.
okay, you already did the,
Yeah.
you already did the motion, yes. I'm sorry. Class,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
DeShano,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes. Following resolution was offered by Charles, supported by,
It's treasurer.
this is you,
Oh, self-support.
Sherry, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't, just the way it's,
So who supported it?
Sherry.
Oh,
Be it resolved, this resolution is subject to MCLA 41.953 in the township. It does not hold an annual meeting. The salary for officers composing the township board shall be determined by the township board. Be it resolved that as of April 1, 2024, the salary for a township treasurer shall be as follows: $31,008.66. Roll call vote.
Cruz,
Yes.
DeShano,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Class.
Abstain.
Resolution to establish township officer salary. The following resolution is offered by Charles, supported by
I'll support.
Lori. Be it resolved that this resolution is subject to MCL 41.953 in the township that does not hold an annual meeting. The salary of officers composing the township board shall be determined by the township board. Be it resolved that as of April 1, 2024, the salary for the township clerk shall be $31,008.66. Roll call vote.
DeShano,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Class,
Yes.
Cruz.
Abstain.
establish township officers' salary. Following resolution is offered by Charles, supported by,
I'll support.
be it resolved that the resolution is subject to MCLA 41.953 and the township does not hold an annual meeting. The salary for officers composing the township board shall be determined by the township board. Be it resolved that as of April 1, 2024, the salary for township trustee DeShano shall be as follows: $5,087.43. Roll call vote.
Campbell.
Yes.
Class.
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes.
DeShano.
Abstain.
I can read it. You can
Okay.
say. The following resolution to establish township officer's salary. The following resolution is offered by,
I'll offer it.
Second?
be it resolved, this resolution is subject to MCLA 41.953 in the township that does not hold an annual meeting. The salary for officers composing the township board shall be determined by the township board. Be it resolved that as of April 1, 2024, the salary for township trustee Campbell shall be as follows: $5,087.43.
Good job.
Roll call vote.
Class.
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes.
DeShano.
Yes.
Campbell.
Abstain. We do not have any FYIs. Does anyone like to adjourn this meeting?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Our next meeting is,
Vote on it.
All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Our next meeting will be April 8th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Thank you everyone for coming.
Well, hi.
Might be $5.
Hi.
My daughter Holly?
Yeah, right. So we try to get